All right, so this is our official welcome to class 4 of the Summer to Autumn series. And one of the things that I've asked folks, and if you're watching the recording, I'd love to see an email, is anything time that you had a sense from last week, we worked some with resistance. If there's a time where you felt like resistance occurred to you, and anything that you might have used that you were releasing, and I named some of the things that people said last time. Piera, you realized that resistance was a need to rest. I found the same thing. There was a day where it was just like, I just can't. And it was like a real total surrender day. And it was like, okay, this is this moment here. I'm going to just let it go. I'm going to take everything off the to-do list for today and put it for another day and just read and relax and just, just spend other time doing other stuff. So shifting the focus from old stories of what you to what you want to experience. That's a beautiful shift of focus, Phyllis, for resistance. And you did it, Beth. You set aside time you commit that commitment to that days of activities. Um, and good, Arlene, you have been moving forward. It's good. There's something about embodying it, and I know that this is a very light touch around how we deal with resistance. It's like, okay, fine, but if it comes back sort of in the thoughts or in your awareness, that's qigong also. Just to know that when you sort of name something here, and it may just then float back to the back burner, but if it comes forward, then we know that this embodiment piece is also helping to support it. And Sherry, you're taking time to breathe when you get stuck. I love that. It's really, really good. Okay, so let's go ahead and begin. You stand up, and we're going to start with our feet apart as always and begin our hip circles.
Yeah, the anniversary card from
And then around in the other direction. And as you do that movement, you want to have the feet a little wider apart than your hips. And as you do it, don't push into it, but allow yourself to see how much range of motion you can do without any sense of pressure in the joint of your hips. Around the other direction. And change again. Okay, that's probably enough for now. Let's bring our feet so they're hip distance apart. Lift your toes up, separate them, put them down again, relax your arms, soften your knees. Connect your sits bones to your heels, and let's circle those shoulders around in a nice full circle. Make sure your jaw is relaxed and the space between your eyebrows is relaxed, and then circle those elbows. And we finish with the backstroke. And follow your hand with your eyes. All right, good. And then we're going to just drop the head over to one side, take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, bring that opposite shoulder down, and inhale, release. Exhale, pull down, and inhale, release. One more time, pull down and reaching out one finger at a time, and then rotate that arm back and forth. And then take your other hand to the side of your head. And today what we're going to do is just let that hand rest lightly. And then we're going to just bring it right to the center and lace your fingers behind your head and curl your spine. So your elbows are going to point down towards your knees. And then roll up through your back. Hands come back down to the side and head goes over to the other side. Take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, pull that shoulder down. And inhale. And exhale. And inhale one more time, pulling down and reaching out one finger at a time. And then rotate your hand back and forth and just feel whatever you feel on the top of the shoulder there as you move your arm. So just waking up that connection between the heart and the mind. We're going to bring the head back to center. Oh, let's go. I'll put the hand on the side of the head first. Sorry. Just going to put it here, rest lightly. And then bring the head back to center and curl. Bring your elbows down and point now down towards your toes. And then bring your hands to your legs for flat back position. And we're round the back, pull your belly button up, and then arch and round and arch. And one more time around. And arch and cross stretch, one shoulder down, look back over the opposite shoulder. And then change. And change. And change. And come back to center, hands come up over the head, inhale up, exhale out, lace your fingers, squeeze those shoulders together, lift the chest up, and then palms forward, upper back presses back, and turn from side to side, and just stretch across that back. And then we're going to stay over onto one side, take a deep breath, and as you exhale, bring the shoulders down, push your upper back back, really stretch through that front hand, front arm, and then relax. We're going to go right over to the other side and do the same thing. Just move them around a little bit and then reach across, bring your shoulder down, bring your upper back back, really push through that palm heel and then come back to center, shake it out. Hands on the belly and moving your belly up and down with your hands. So just easy release here. All right. Release your fingers, hands, palms facing the ground. Lift your hands up, inhale. As you exhale, we're going to reach down today towards the ground. You go as far as feels right for your legs, your back. Don't push it. Wherever you go is absolutely fine. Inhale, coming up. And exhale over to one side, going down. And inhale, coming up. And exhale over to the other side. And inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, over to one side. And up. And you just go as far as you want. You can just go down to hip level or knee level if that feels best for you. You choose what feels right for your back and legs. Inhale up. One more time, each one of these directions. So it's forward and up and side and up and other side and come up and open. All right, let's do some more brocades. So we've worked with the first 3 brocades. So we're going to begin with the first one where you bring your hands up, inhale up, exhale out. Aha! So you know how in the lotus we have that cloudburst that happens between the hands? Imagine the cloudburst is happening over your head. So you're really kind of awakening up your spirit here, inhaling up, exhale. Ah! And go ahead and shout. Okay, so inhale up. Ah! Good. I love seeing you all. And again, inhale up. Aha! Very good. And bring your hands to your lower abdomen. Bouncing up and down a little bit in your legs, moving your belly up and down with your hands. Relax that jaw, relax that space between the eyebrows, and relax your buttocks. And as you stand here for a moment, I want to just think about lifting the crown of the head and lowering the tailbone. So I'm going to just take a moment to extend your spine. You want to imagine that there's space happening to each in between each one of those vertebrae. All right, inhale, exhale, cross your left wrist over the right, and this is always going to be true on the bottom. Inhale up, left over the right again, about chest level. Make a fist with your inside hand, so that would be your right hand. And, you know, if you're mirroring me, then just you're doing the opposite. That's really okay. And we're going to pull out like this big bow and arrow, shoulder down, elbow is about shoulder height. Index finger of the extended arm is up. I don't know if you can see it with the white background, but pulling out and inhale and exhale. Gather the chi to bring it into that lower dantian, crossing left over right. Inhale. This time right over left. So we're shifting now going into the other direction. Make a fist with your inside hand and extend. And inhale and exhale. Gather the chi and cross. Inhale, exhale, left over right. In and pull. Exhale out, inhale, exhale, gather the chi, and in the other direction, inhale, exhale, this time right over left, inhale, make a fist and exhale. Inhale and exhale, going into the third brocade. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, one hand goes up, the other goes down. We're going to lift the heel of the hand that's going down. So you're going to have a long stretch along the opposite side. And then inhale, exhale, gather the chi. Again, inhale and exhale, looking down towards your bottom hand, lifting the heel here, right? So lifting the heels, legs stay straight, and only opening up along the side. Then we inhale, exhale, gather the chi. We'll do one more time each side. Inhale and exhale and inhale and exhale. Last time, inhale and exhale and inhale and exhale. I'm going to go into the fourth brocade. So inhale, exhale. Now inhale, we're going to take your let's say this hand, it's going to go to the opposite side of your neck. So this is my left hand. It might be your right. So you're going to go to the opposite side of the neck. And the other hand, the back of the hand is going to go onto the kidney. So it looks like this, right? So the fingers are on the far side of the neck, the back of the hand is on the kidney, and you're going to just basically massage that muscle. Just dig your fingers into the muscle on your side of the neck, the neck vertebrae. Massage it for a moment, breathe in. Now, as you breathe out, you're going to bring that top elbow towards the screen. You're going to turn your head, look back behind you, and you're going to open your eyes as wide as you can. And then come back, inhale. Exhale, gather the chi. Other side, inhale. Exhale, we're going to take that other hand to the opposite side of the neck, and the bottom hand goes to the kidney, right where the bottom of the floating ribs are. You're going to dig your fingers into the side of the neck, massage as you inhale. As you exhale, take that top elbow forward, look back over your back shoulder, and inhale. Exhale, gather the chi. We're going to do one more time each side. Inhale, starting with the first side, bringing it to the opposite side of the neck. Bring the hand on the back of the kidney, massage. Inhale. And as you exhale and turn your head and point your elbow forward, wide eyes. Eyes like trying your eyes, drinking in whatever you see behind you. And then inhale. Exhale, gather the chi. And one more time, breathe in and breathe out. Massage. Inhale. Exhale, point that elbow forward. And come back to center. And place your hands on the lower dantian. Let's just take a moment to let that circulate, bouncing a little bit, moving your belly up and down with your hands. All right, so that's the first half of the 8 brocades. Now we're going to go into the heart medical medicine for the heart, Qigong. So we're going to take one hand across the body, other hand comes up. Remember, this is what we were working on last time quite a bit when I was talking about circles opening into spirals. So you're going to inhale here, and then you're going to exhale, extend. And inhale. And exhale. Little review, imagining light coming down from the sun into your palm. Today's a blue moon also, so it's a very unusual moon pattern coming into the palm, circling up, creating a spiral coming up to your third eye. Inhale. And exhale, imagining that energy coming through, spiraling up to your third eye. And in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Couple more times each side. Exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And in. Breathe out. Breathe in. And last time. Out. And in. Bring your hands to your heart. All right. We're going to continue with some of the work that we did last time, but I want to do a little different warm-up for the primordial forces today. We're going to do an arm swing. So you're going to let one arm come up and turn your hand so the little finger is going up towards the ceiling, and then swing it and then come down, and we're going to change it so the palm is turned up. So it's coming out and across and out and across. And as you do this, you're going to just let your waist turn. The knees still stay forward, but it's just it's almost like a big old pendulum swinging back and forth. So there's a sense of flow here in your arm. And as it goes, it's going to maybe start to feel a little heavier as it drops. Let that happen. So let the weight of the arm, especially in the upper arm, swing down and up. And one more time, and up, and then just let it rest. Other side, little finger up, palm up, and up and forward, and breathing back and forth, twisting in the waist, letting your knees stay forward. So it's really happening above your hips. There may be a little movement in the hips, but it's minimal. Okay. We're really not, the main thing is I don't want you to torque your knee at all as you're going from side to side. I do want to have a sense that that upper arm starts to get heavier and it falls and lifts and falls and lifts and falls and lifts. Good. One more time. And relax. Hands come onto that lower abdomen. So we worked with primordial forces quite a bit last time, and also I think the time before. So we'll do a quick review, but then I'm going to go through the next piece of the lotus. So we'll just start with the right hand coming up and then coming down. All right, so we know what's happening here, right? It's sunlight mingling with the water of the earth, creating a cloud, and then the building up of barometric pressure. And then this is a distillation process. This distilled water then is watering the earth. And the earth has to do with the actions that you take, the steps that you take. So this is really harnessing the alchemical forces of fire and water, passion and feeling, to be able to move into that heart, the lotus state of the heart. So here again, we're just drawing that energy down and then letting it rise up again in a different form. And then there's this moment here of building tension, and then there's the release of that tension and coming up. All right, so we're going to put that into the form now. So let's go ahead and start with the feet heels together and relax your arms. All right, relax your jaw, relax the space between your eyebrows. So the first things that we do is we open up to whatever the information is that might be in this form. Then you're going to cross your left wrist over your right wrist over your left, and your left ankle over your right. Right wrist over the left ankle over the right, coming up and out, and then let the heel come down, and then the ball of the foot, and you come down. And almost like water on hot oil, you bounce right back up, because the first thing that we do in this form is try to give ourselves a little bit of break from the brain mutter. So here we go, lifting the crown of the head up, almost like you're lifting up all those extraneous thoughts that keep you from being present, dropping that down to earth so that it can become compost. We can deal with it in the right timing. But for right now, we want to have a sense of clearing our minds, just clearing your awareness, just letting yourself be fully present. Drawing up now from the earth. The earth is rising up through your body, and we're going to dip down, and we're working on whatever we happen to be working on in our lives. So this is a moment where we're dipping into that piece of work and then holding it forward, sort of like an offer. This is what I'm working with today. So some of you have mentioned how you already are implementing some of the ways in which you released resistance this past week. So this is about, whatever it is that is, or whatever it is that's coming to you now to work on. And we begin to summon these different primordial forces. So we're going right back into what we just did here, coming up, lowering down, and building, and pressure, and release. And there's this sense here of nourishing the earth, nourishing the actions that you take, the steps that you take to make the difference in your life and in the life of others. And then coming up onto the side, coming up and down and circle, and palms face one another. Pressure, release, lift. One last time, coming down. Evaporation up into the atmosphere as a cloud, and then press and water and raise. All right. Now in this position, I want to just check in with you. Your shoulders down. So you don't want to be up here. You want to have the shoulders down, although the arms are raised high. All right, so now we're going to bring that left arm. So if this should be your left, if you're not on your left, please change it, because this is the next step of the lotus and it needs to be on the heart side, on your left side. So we're going to draw the hand down and you're going to reach back behind you. We did this a little bit last week, and your fingers are going to point up towards the sky. You're going to take the outside edge of the hand and you're going to scoop around with it and come to meet into that left palm. So the hands are touching here. And then we're going to take it over to the right and we're going to dip down. So this is a sense of, I am going to be with the feelings that I have in growth times, because the lotus is all about evolution and growth. So coming down and letting ourselves feel where resistance is. So we start with the right hand pushing against the left is pushing back. Want to feel your bicep muscles get engaged with this. And then the left hand comes, and so this is basically how there's this struggle for dominance. When there's the power struggle, there's one side tries to assert dominance and the other's resisting, and then it changes. The other one's trying to assert dominance, and the first one's resisting until we realize war makes no sense at all. Power struggle makes no sense at all. Let's release it, let it go. And at that point, you come back to your own center. This is again, that tantric concept of impregnating yourself with your own destiny. So take a moment to feel the warmth of your palms, if they're warm, on your lower dantian. Then turn your palms up, and we're going to raise up through the center line here with the palms. So it's like energy is now rising. So you've planted that seed and it's down in the muck. And now what we're doing is experiencing a lengthening up or lifting up of that stem. And the fingers point down here. I'm going to come a little closer so you can really see me. Now we're going to start with the left thumb. Left thumb is going to come forward and it's followed by the different fingers. I'm going to do that again. So left thumb, and it's followed by the fingers. Then the little finger of the right hand meets the little finger of the left hand, and then it unfurls. So again, we're going to have the hands coming up, palms facing down, left thumb, right little finger meets the left little finger. So there's this unfurling, one finger at a time. It's an unfolding, just as we unfold, the unfolding of the 1,000-petaled lotus here, right? And then we're bringing the hands here to connect with our minds, which we've cleared, and then connect to the heart. And with the mind and heart together, we form the bud of the lotus. Then there's the birthing of the lotus. The elbows come together and push up, and then the hands separate, and then starting with the little finger, one finger at a time, unfurls into this lotus blossom. Okay? And then from that lotus blossom, we're going to just extend out and let that energy emanate. All right, good. And then just shake it out. All right, so let's place the hands on the heart for a moment. Close your eyes and take a moment to feel like, what is it that you feel like you would want to express this week from your heart? So this is not that different from other exercises where we've, balanced heaven, human, and earth and stuff. But what I want to focus on today, because we're kind of coming to the end of Lotus time, moving into that interim time of transition between summer and autumn. What you want to do is just take a moment to feel, what is the expression of your heart that you feel has been emerging, that you want to see emerge this week, or anything else, however you want to think about that. What's the quality of the heart? And when you know that, let's bring it back to that lower dantian. So this moment of impregnation. So the sense of here, to this week, my focus is going to be connecting more authentically with people I want to deepen with, something like that. Whatever, I'm just making that up, but whatever it is that feels like you're impregnating into your lower dantian, and then the palms turn up. The fingers go down, the shoulder blades stay down. So the elbows are high, but the shoulders are not lifted. They're down, starting with your left thumb, and then little finger unfolding. Then bring your palms together to face your third eye and bring it down to your heart and let that bud appear. So now we're holding in this bud the intention you have for the week. And elbows come together. This is birthing up through the crown chakra, because this is a very spiritual metaphor, this lotus. And it opens and unfurls one petal at a time, and then opens out into full blossom. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine that whatever it was that you claimed when I asked you to go into your heart, ask what you were expressing, claim it. Let yourself extend it out from your chest center all the way out through the tips, especially of your middle fingers. And then release, bring it back to the lower dantian. Okay, come forward. Let's go ahead and put in the chat what your heart says today. What is the heart energy that you're bringing forward today? And again, if you're watching the video recording, I really want to know. I'm not just saying that because, oh yeah, just say, I really want to know. So whenever you write to me, I read it, I appreciate it, I hold it with you. So please do. All right, acceptance and love for your process. Blessings on that, Arlene. Balance, compassion, and joy, Marcia. Yes. Expanding with connection all along the way for Beth. What else do we have here? What is your heart saying? What's your heart's intention for this week to come? What is your lotus expression being applied to in your life? Staying open, Sherry. Good. Living your heart no matter its condition. Yes, I know, Sandra, as you do this healing process, or what Daisy Lee calls healing project. Presence with the moment. Yes, PR, just being able to show up and fully present with whatever it is that's there. I think that's very sacred intention. Okay, good. So we have time to do this again. So let's do it from the beginning of the form, just as a practice. So I'm not going to talk a whole lot this time, maybe a little bit towards the end, but just begin by opening. We cross the right over the left wrist and the left ankle over the right, circle out, lower the heel down, bring the hands. Removing brain mutter. Take a moment to pause, get present. What do you hear? What do you see? What do you smell? What do you taste in your mouth? What do you feel on your skin? And drawing the sense of presence up and dipping down into whatever it is that you are working on in your inner work, whether it's conscious or not, bringing that forward in a state of balance. And then over to the side and accessing the primordial forces so that we're able to be in sync with nature as we go on our own inner journey of circles into spirals. And then bringing the hands down, reaching back with the left, and bringing the outside edge of the hand to come and meet the Laogong point in the palm, moving over to the diagonal. Dive down into about lower dantian level, and then we play out resistance. This is the lotus push where we're just watching. So we want to keep the head high, the eyes cast down, and this is really waking up your observer self. That's how we recognize when we're in resistance. Maybe that is that place like a couple of us felt last week. That's a time to surrender and rest. So here you're going, you're observing it, and you're not getting pulled into the drama of it. And then there's this moment where both sides realize they're part of the same whole, that power struggle has no meaning, and there's a release of that struggle and pain, and we come back to be able to really come home to our true selves. And then the palms turn up here. So the energy is rising from we're sort of transmuting the energy of the swamp into the power of the lotus. The fingers point down first, shoulders are down, elbows are high. We start with the left thumb, one finger at a time. This is an unfolding, an unfurling of this lotus in its process where we begin to unite the mind with the heart to form the bud. And then pressing your elbows together, this bud gets up, it's birthed up through your crown chakra, up into the heaven realm, and then unfurls one finger at a time and comes out into full blossom. Take a moment to feel for your affirmation if you have one. If you don't, maybe make something up right now. What is your heart saying? And then we will waft it. So I'm going to carry it to the next step, wafting to one side and then to the other side. Back and forth. Just imagine that as you do this movement, you're allowing that intention to have a positive impact on anyone who is there to receive it. And coming back to center, we're going to dip down again into the earth realm, and you're going to bring forward whatever it is that you're offering here with that wafting And so it's a sense of the lotus, but more fully realized. So this intention is more fully realized from having gone through that lotus process. And bring your hands to the lower dantian. Close your eyes. Take a moment to just breathe. Go back into your presence awareness. Without sight, what do you hear? What do you smell? What do you taste in your mouth? What do you feel on your skin? And then open your eyes. And I'm going to have you just take a moment to use your eyes, your sense of sight, and just look around your room. And if you have windows, looking out the windows, just to see how many colors, how many shades of green you see around you. What are the greens that are around you? Because green is the color of the liver, which rules the eyes. And then come back to center and shake, moving your lower abdomen up and down. All right, and shake it out. I want to finish with going back into the fourth flowing form, which is dragon tosses the immortal pearl. So we worked on that a little bit last week. We've worked on it on and off at different times for those of you who've been with me for a while. I'm going to start with our feet hip distance apart, soften the knees. All right. So this is a totally different form, but still a heart form. So the lotus is a heart form, the medical qigong is heart, and this is a heart form also. It's working with the heart meridian, but it's also working with how do we move from circles into spirals? How do we, and again, just a quick review, that sense of when we experience the patterns in our life, certain patterns, and some of them are really positive and some of them kind of hold us back into kind of old scripts or old ways of responding to things. So this is really about how do we continue to move, spiral up our consciousness, go to higher and higher rungs of the spiral. So we're going to literally embody that with this form. So we begin with the knees soft, the tailbone connected to the earth, the sits bones connected to the heels. And we're going to begin by bringing our hands first to the left and then to the right. And you're going to take your left wrist underneath your right wrist. So left wrist under the right wrist. So I'm going over to my right here. So if you're mirroring me, it would be like this. So here, and we're going to imagine that you're pulling a thread of chi between the two hands. You're leading with the heart meridian on the outside of your arm up and coming up. So this is a small rung here of a spiral. And we're going to imagine throwing a pearl of consciousness or pearl of awareness or a pearl of action or attitude. Throw that out and then pull it back and listen. So this is all about embracing change as part of our evolution. So as you go down, you're just sort of letting yourself listen here. The other hand comes under the wrist, and we're going to just bring this up to about shoulder height, and then we're going to toss that pearl out from the shoulder, pull back, and listen. Let's do that now with the weight shift. So you're going to tip down, your weight is about 50-50, and then you're going to shift into your right foot as you lean over to your right side. Okay, and then we're going to come through the center line, so you're 50-50, shift over into your left foot, and then toss that pearl, staying in your left foot. Now we're going to ground through the left foot, stay on the left side, left weighted. So this leg is empty, and we're going to pull back and listen. Stay in that left foot as we go down. Right wrist goes under the left wrist, coming up to shoulder height. Shift the weight into the right foot and throw the pearl. Pull back and listen. All right. And bring your hands to your lower dantian. I'd love you to practice this a little bit. What I want you to feel is the sense that as you do the movement, that you're taking, for example, the left shoulder is coming down. It's a very obvious spiral, right? You're going up and then staying here. So it's energy's coming up and then staying on this level. Next week, we'll work on the next two levels. This one is the earth level. So when we're throwing here from the shoulder, it's the first level of earth realm. And that earth realm is all about standing your ground, feeling in your power. So when we think about what is it that we need to know about internalized power, not power over, but power within, what do we need to know to be able to move to another level of empowerment? So what we're doing is pulling up the possibility here of being on this next awareness of power and then listening. How does that work? How does that feel? Am I still in my authenticity? Am I still really doing what I mean to do? And then coming down, same thing on the other side, up and throw it out. So it's like sending out a trial, trying something out, and then listening to see, is this moving, does this move my awareness more expanded or does it not? So that you make choices about what works for you and what doesn't. Okay, hands on the lower abdomen and bounce a little bit again. All right, good. So let's tap in anything useful from our time together. Add it into your heart. And then tap the top of your shoulder, coming down one arm and up. Let's do that 3 times today. So we're going to go first underneath the armpit here. Really get those lymphs going. Very, very important here, especially for women's health. And then coming down, cupped hand. Remember, you're pulling out any remaining stagnant chi from under your arm, and then here from the lymph especially. And just do it again, coming down and up. And then here in the lymphs, and then tap your chest. And then other side, we're going to do 3 times. Cup that hand. When you come up, you want to go on the inside, the underarm, underneath here, and then under that lymphs, up and down on inside that armpit. And again, going down the side, down the top of the arm, coming up on the inside of the arm, underneath the armpit. And one more time, down and up and tap it in and tap your chest and come down to your belly. And we're going to do 3 times with the legs now, going down the outsides of the legs. You can bend your knees here so that you can reach your feet and then up the insides, unless you don't need to and you want that extra stretch. So going down on the outside and coming up on the inside. One last time, down and come up and lower back. And then tap your upper back, back of your neck, behind your ears, top of your head. And we're going to do 3 times of this little microcosmic orbit adaptation. Clap, rub, coming down the front, down towards your feet, up the back, around the shoulders, back of the neck, back of the head, and out. 2 more times. Clap, rub, and come down. And come up. And out. Last time, clap, rub, and come down. And come up and out. And splash yourself. And splash one another. And splash yourself again. And thank you so much for joining me. I'll stay on for some Q&A if you'd like. But till next time, be well and let the chi flow. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Vicky.
You're
Bye.
welcome. Bye, Arlene.